always thank God that I came to LA at a later age. So I don't think I would have had the discipline to stop my fun years at 24, because 24 is still that's still a fun age too. You know what I mean? So where was your discipline, or what made you say, all right, look, I done had some fun, I done enjoyed it, I've been out these Hollywood streets?
Because I hear you, bro, and I think that could have easily been the case for me, but I think the discipline was, I'm now a young man, and I gotta survive.
Welcome to another episode of Biggerthangoalspodcast with your boy Sean Suge Amos. Today we got another special guest, my guy, a man of many talents, of tons of creativity. My guy Campbell, man. How you doing, bro?
Good, brother. How you feeling?
I'm great, brother, man. Thanks for coming, man. You've been on a journey.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Yes, sir. You've been on a journey, man. You just came back from Australia, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, it was lovely, bro. It was peaceful, man.
Uh-huh.
It was peaceful, man. It was good. It was good for my mental health.
How was the weather over there around this time?
Well, their summer is just starting, so I got there like tail end of the spring, start of the summer, and yeah, it's just been probably like 80 degree weather, sunny days. There was some rain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's the end of the spring, but it was nice, man. It was lovely.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I always wanted to go to Australia, but I always think about that damn flight, bro. That 24, that is 22 hours, 23 hours?
15 from LA.
15?
Yeah, 15.
Oh, I thought that was like 17, 20, some
Yeah,
hours.
15. 13 if the wind is blowing your way. Yeah.
Nice. So what you, did you go travel by yourself?
Yeah, travel by myself. Yeah,
Nice.
travel by myself this time around.
Yeah, I did that once, bro. I did that once. I don't know. I don't know if I'd do it again by myself, but I mean, I traveled to Spain by myself. It was a good experience, but I like to share with other people. Like I like to share it with someone, or whatever the case may be. How you feel when you go travel by yourself? Like, what's the goal in traveling by yourself?
You know what? For me, I feel like traveling by myself, I could just get more accomplished if there's like, just because of the range of like activities that I may be into. Everybody's not into that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm very open. So, you know, skydiving is a thing for me.
Really? You been skydiving before?
See what I'm saying? So I have been skydiving, but not everybody, you know, is open to that. And yeah, I could go and if me and you went on a trip, I could be like, yo, I'm going skydiving, I'll be back. But again, like,
no, I won't go skydiving though.
I know. I'm just saying that's just one of the things, right? But like, let's say like surfing as well. You know what I mean? Like just whatever it is, you know, trying different things. You know, not a lot of my peers, you know, are open to the same things that I may be open to.
Right.
And that's cool. It's just that, you know, I don't want to go and do activities with somebody that I travel with back at the hotel, back at the Airbnb, or something like that. So I think traveling alone just kind of gives me that space. It's a peaceful space to just be able to, you know, do things without, you know, anything on my conscience as far as considering somebody else. You know what I mean? And I'm very personable. I love to meet people. You know, I'm social. You know, sometimes people, you got different personalities. They just want to be with their group.
Absolutely, I know how that works.
You know, and I'm just like, I'm somebody just like, I'm a flower, man. I like to just be in different spaces and talk to random people and things of that nature. And so this is like my third time in Australia. And, this time around, you know, I was there alone, but I have friends there. I have friends that's pretty much like family members now. You know, because of, like I said, I went there, meeting people, talking to people, kept in touch, and now when I go there or anywhere I go anywhere, most of the time I usually have a pair or somebody who knows somebody that they can connect me with when I'm traveling. So so traveling alone, man, I learned it's a big learning advantage. For me, I'm just able to take in more, learn about people, the culture. You know, and you by yourself. You ain't got nobody to talk to, so you catch yourself drinking a coffee or a tea or something somewhere. You're just looking around.
But it's a good feel though. Yeah, it's a good feel. You get the opportunity to really realize how different people live than you. Like all the concerns that we have over here. Bro. It's like they don't have a clue what we think about every day.
Bro.
You know what I mean? That's what the reason why I started the interview off with that, because I want to just definitely make sure people like start to travel more. So if you want to invest your money into any type of entertainment or fun, it should be travel, in my opinion. Especially the different countries. I mean, I know you personally, so I don't know. Maybe Tulum, with zip line in Tulum might be boring. You want
man. I love Tulum, bro.
I ain't never been to Tulum, but that's the place. Yeah, that's just the place where people always go. But me, I like when I go overseas or like Europe or anything like that. You know, I want to go places where there's museums and I get a feel for like the culture and understand like how other people think. You know what I mean? To kind of relieve the way I'm thinking.
Exactly.
Because with so much social pressures and everything. Yeah. So you from New York, right? Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, what part of Brooklyn?
Brownsville.
Brownsville, okay.
Yeah.
So you come from a place where people didn't travel, people didn't think about any of that stuff.
Exactly.
Where did that come in for you?
Man, I think just being a kid and just dreaming.
Yeah.
You know, being in that environment. I'm sure you from Philly.
Yeah.
You know, we all come from, a lot of us, a lot of our peers, we come from kind of the same sort of environment in different cities, and you probably could relate to it. But it's like, you know, we wrapped up into where we at. You know, and it's not necessarily the prettiest situation.
Yeah.
We still having fun because we don't know no better. But like, you see something on TV, you watch a show, you watch a movie, and you just start. I think, you know, something clicks. You start dreaming outside of where you at.
I think that's where I think it always starts with a spark. Like for me, my spark of like thinking there's more in the world to see. My mom was flirting with the idea of taking us to like Disneyland or whatnot or whatever, right? So the process to get to that is they send you like a brochure tape or whatever. And this is back in the day. This is like VHS and shit. So we didn't get a chance to go, but I remember being hyped up off the brochure tape. And one of the things that stood out to me, which is like super, maybe odd or not, but was the palm trees to start off the brochure tape. So I saw those palm trees, and I was over time, like throughout the week, I remember seeing them in like the opening for movies and shows, and I'm like, is these palm trees real? And I always dream about it. I remember going back to school, and we had an art project, and I drew out some palm trees or whatever. So that was probably when I was in the 3rd or 4th grade. And fast forward to when I was about, I want to say 20, and I had an opportunity to play basketball over in the Bay Area. And my flight was June 17th, 2007, never forget it. And I landed in Oakland, and the first thing I seen was palm trees when we got in the van. And I was like, yo, this is crazy, bro. That was like, I had to call my homie Kyrie. Right. Yo, like they really got palm trees. Right. Because we live in that, we come from that area where your reality is as far as you can see sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you see the guy on the corner drinking, or you see the uncle who's staying with your grandmom, and the only thing you want to do is really just not be that.
Right.
But it's more to life than that.
Right.
On my last show, we was talking about something men go through called walking depression, and where you just don't know you're depressed. You're just moving, but you don't know like how you're really feeling. And but every daily life is going on. Do you remember anything where you was like kind of help you get through them days, or when you was like, damn man, I'm gonna go to the beach. I go to the beach sometimes on Tuesdays. You know anything that helped you get through that?
Definitely, bro. At the time, you know, at this particular time, right after, I remember these were like some of my fun years, and that's what took my mind.
Fun years always a good.
You know what I mean? It took my mind off of whatever. It just distracted me. It's not that my mind was on anything. It just distracted me from actually dwelling in that feeling that I didn't know I was feeling. You know what I mean? So it would come because I think as humans, we, you know, innately we go through highs and lows. So I chalk it up as like, if I'm sad or something's happening, it's a human moment. Right. But it was more severe than that, and I didn't realize that until later. And just the fun. I started going out into like the Hollywood space. You know, just being in that space, and I think that
yeah, that's That's a make or break space too.
Yeah,
We'll talk
it
about
worked out for me though, man.
Yeah?
I think, yeah, God. I feel like God always had His hand on me, man, and me figuring things out had to go through that,
Right.
right? And it was fun. It was fun, and again, like I said, God had His hand on me. It wasn't it was rocky. It was bumpy, but I had fun, bro, and that distracted me, and it also was again learning moments. It was me shaping myself into another version, shedding that skin. It was good for me to get the basketball thing
Out the way.
out off my mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and granted, I still play in the summers and stuff like that. I still play like the semi-pro leagues.
Oh
and
yeah,
things
you
like that.
still nice. You still
Yeah,
moving
you know
around,
what
bro.
I mean? Yeah, I was still active.
I
Like,
played on a couple teams with you.
yeah,
Man.
getting it out of me. I feel like I spent like 4 or 5 years getting it out of me, right? So and in the summers, you know, we have the luxury in LA to play against like the Russell Westbrooks and the Klay Thompsons and these different pros. Shout out to AD. He used to have me at certain runs with
Yeah, my
like
guy,
these guys.
AD.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that some of these people are now like friends of mine. Just being a part of those private runs and stuff like that. But yeah, Hollywood definitely was something that distracted me. You know.
Yeah, see, I always thank God that I came to LA at a later age. Because if I would have came here like when I was 20, 21, it wouldn't have been no basketball being played. And because, I mean, you got so many things that's going on, especially coming from the East Coast, where you just, on the East Coast, we just we watching from TV. We just seeing it, everything. And me personally, I didn't think most of it was real. I didn't even think the palm trees was real, let alone like people driving around in nice cars and big houses and everything else like that. So I don't think I would have had the discipline to stop my fun years at 24, because 24 is still that's still a fun age too. You know what I mean? So where was your discipline, or what made you say, all right, look, I done had some fun, I done enjoyed it, I've been out in Hollywood streets.
You know what? I think my discipline, cause I hear you, bro, and I think that could have easily been the case for me, but I think the discipline was, I'm now a young man, and like I gotta survive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I gotta survive. I gotta have a roof over my head some way, somehow, you know, and I think that right there just kind of balanced me out as far as like the fun and the seriousness of life. Although I think my body, I wake up every day trying to figure out, all right, what I'm doing tonight, what shorties I'm finna be around, or what I'm doing with my homeboys. But the survival instinct, the survival mode had me feeling like, well, you gotta make sure you have peace of mind first. Make sure you got food to eat and a place to stay and things of that nature. So
definitely need the basic necessities.
I think that's what checked me, and that's what kind of kept me, you know, a little bit balanced. My priorities probably wasn't in the best place, but you know, I did what I had to do to make sure that I was able to like feed myself and have somewhere to stay. You know what I mean? And I think what I did was I utilized my resources at the time, and like I said, I was in that space. I worked in the nightlife, so I would I'd get with some friends. We did like after hours. We have like an after hours space. I worked at
Well, you work like as a promoter or more just an event planner?
kind of like we put it together, whatever was needed to be done for the team. You know what I mean? So we, you know, some days I do the door, some days I'm managing the bottle service. You know, some days I'm managing the actual street team promoters. You know, trying to hire people to get people to bring people to the spaces and just whatever needed to be done. And I worked in spaces like that briefly at moments. And then I also I worked as a security.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, just all the different things. You know, having homies that had companies, like stuff like that. I did staging before, setting up, you know, lighting and stages for, you know, events and just.
But was any of those things like your passion though?
None of them.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. The reason why I asked that is because a lot of sometimes we get into a space where we're doing jobs that's like not, not something that we're passionate about. And we kind of put that weight on our back, and we start to feel like, damn, it's hopeless. What I'm doing in life. Did you ever have one of them moments where you said, all right, like, I'm fucked up financially. I gotta do something I love to do. And when you did, what type of discipline that you have? Like, I know for me, I had that moment when I was about 3 months behind on rent 2 times in 1 year. And I said, you know what? Forget all this stuff that's going on, the girls and all. I'm gonna sit in the house for 6 months and get right and figure out what I love to do.
I hadn't had those moments, bro.
No?
I didn't have those moments, man. I wish I did.
No, you don't.
I do.
You don't want them moments, brother.
I do, man, because we're sitting here today, and you reflect. In moments you reflect, right? Life still is like this for me, and I think about, like, man, like, I'm happy now. I have direction. And I feel like I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy with my course and my journey. But yeah, like, if I had a head start, and it's kind of tricky to say, I wish I knew now. I wish I knew then what I know now. But like, yeah, sometimes you feel that way. Like, I wish.
Oh, no, I feel like that all the time.
I wish I had that discipline.
Yeah.
The discipline that I have now, to be able to apply to a younger version of myself. Because I know the mountaintop that I could be on, and to be able to be a inspirational, mentor to another younger version of myself. You know what I mean? So I do wish I wish that I was able to have that discipline when I was younger. You know what I mean? So,
so after that, because you have a brand called YACHT, right? Is it Young and Creating History Together?
Yeah,
my
man.
I did it right?
Yeah, you did it right.
Okay.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, that's it. I've been following you for a while, and I look at your brand, and it promotes a lot of, like, meditation, self-development, self-awareness.
Yep.
Where did that part come in at?
Okay, so in correlation to the question you asked prior to this, this yacht was the moment for me where I started to sit down and feel like, all right, let me just stop living how I'm living right now and figure out what it is that I'm gonna be doing that's gonna make me happy. Because yacht kind of came from the pursuit of yacht, and what I've been able to shape it into it came from a depression, like I finally started to feel that depression that we spoke about earlier. Where that feeling that was happening that I didn't acknowledge, it was happening more. It was happening more fiercely than it's ever happened. So I remember sitting in the house. Things were solid. I had some financial balance in my life. You know what I'm saying? I was living in a cool way. You know what I mean? I made my resources work for me. I was bringing in a lot of money for a person at my age. I remember living in North Hollywood, penthouse apartment. It was sweet, and nothing I was doing was anything that was really making me happy. And I remember I might have had some botched relationships at the time with females, just different things. Like, financially everything was smooth, but I feel like I didn't really have no real, there was no love around me. At least I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel loved. I didn't love myself. And I think I just had a moment where I just was like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of just waking up every day. Whatever I'm doing, I might work out or whatever. I'm hanging out with a girl. It's breakfast, lunch, dinner, hanging out with friends, paying for everything, club, more BS, and just doing that over and over and over and over again.
Right.
All the things that I thought I wanted to do, and the life I thought I wanted to live, driving certain vehicles or doing certain things, like,
But I gotta ask, how'd you get to that place to like penthouse? How'd you get from just working club security, then penthouse, then you finding your space in there?
I think it was more so just gambling, bro, and using my resources, working in the nightlife. It was lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after hours, you got to think, like, I'm doing that probably, it's some, every night is something going on. So,
Gotcha.
you know, we doing that. I'm taxing people at the door, you know, more than what we asking for. I'm hitting people on my own. Stuff like that.
Right.
I had Airbnbs at one time before it got real strict. I had a few Airbnbs at one time. That worked out for me for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just hit a sweet spot, like a hustler's sweet spot.
Mm.
Gambling. I was always a big gambler.
Yeah.
Just all those things at once.
Right.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
And just being able to take that money and flip it and put it into this and that, in a very very simple way. You know, it wasn't even like it was easy. I didn't have to have any realtor skills, anything like that. Like I said, Airbnb was much easy to function at the time.
Right.
You just get an apartment, put it on there. The tax stuff wasn't in play.
Yeah. So you making this money and you wasn't happy and you couldn't find it sounds like you missing the love. Like I know a lot of us go through that out here, especially out here because we away from our family.
Yeah.
And we away from our natural element that we grew up in. So how did you so the love was within you, right? I mean, I assume.
It was. It always is. It always is, man.
Mm-hmm.
I went through what I went through. I went through that phase, and yacht was something that was always there. I didn't know what to do with it. You know, I had this love for fashion, so I went the route of. I started with trying to make it a clothing line. Tried to make yacht a clothing line, and you know what? I had some success, bro. I did a show in LA Fashion Week.
No.
I didn't even know what LA Fashion Week was or whatever. It came about, and then like maybe a couple years later or maybe a year later, it was just like, oh wow, I just did something like this. That was cool. You know, having that sort of accomplishment.
No, that's a great accomplishment,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. It's one of the first posts on my Instagram, bro. Like, so like that's something that was like a accomplishment for me. But I realized like having that to to ride off of, I didn't want to be a fashion designer.
Oh no.
Well, I thought I did, and you know,
What made you change your mind?
just I had no experience in like the actual intricacies of like what it takes to be a fashion designer.
Gotcha.
Pattern making, all these different things. Like that's not even I didn't want to go down another road of doing some more things that I just didn't love.
Right.
And so I just didn't even really. I just kind of I let it be. I just stepped away from it. I kept it real simple. And even to this day, the clothing part of yacht is simple. You know, it's not super. You know.
It's a brand.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle brand.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I have a basketball brand that sells merch as well. So I totally understand that. I jumped in it thinking the same thing. Like, oh, this gonna be. Oh, I love basketball shirts, but I just don't have the time to be trying to keep up with trends and everything. So I try to. What I do is to just develop a brand, and if you want to be part of this brand, this is what you wear.
Yacht is basically a lifestyle brand that promotes, spiritual mechanisms and tools and values and things of that nature. It's kind of like a badge,
Right.
So
how important is that though? How important, coming from the inner city, how important is it that men, women, get in tune with meditation? Like that's one of the things you wish you would have known earlier, and if so, like how young could a kid be to meditate or be in touch with the spirituality or understand that it's not all about the material things. It's more so about within. How important is that for the youth and not just youth, adults who's working to chase the bag per se, but not overcome themselves?
Man, it's very important. It's so important, bro, and that's a lot of the work that I'm doing at this point in my life, or not even the work, but the intentions and the way that I want to live is to stress the importance. And so I want to do more of that with Yacht. It's important for kids more than it is important for, it's important for everybody. But the youth is the most important because we are kids. Essentially, we were kids,
Yep.
and we turn into this. And what usually happens, like, you know, people like you and I, you know, we grow up and we got to go through all these things to get to this space.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's
It makes
like,
it makes the route longer.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like if I could give a kid these mechanisms, I can give this kid time. That time that I
Right.
just talked about, that we just spoke about, that I wish I could have a certain mindset younger, you know, the discipline to sit and think and to sit and know what it is I want to do and design my life the way I want to. I could give that to a kid now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to the youth. And
Yep.
it's important. The meditation, which AKA prayer,
Yep.
you know, teaching the youth how to do that, you know, outside of like, with respects to culture and religion, just teaching the kid how to actually have control, as much control as he or she could possibly have when they're praying to their God, or whatever the case may have. You teaching them, giving them something so that they can figure out what their God means to them and how important their God is to them. I think that's very important, bro. It would give them so much time and so much direction and so much discernment, you know, and their journey. You know what I mean? And I think it would just save them time and trauma and a lot of pain.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I totally agree with you because I think we forget that as men, that, you know, we put so much stress on being in certain places of life at certain ages. But realistically, you know, especially us who coming from the inner city, I don't know, did you grow up with your mom and dad?
I grew up with my in a household. My mom, my dad was around, but
Yeah, so I grew up with just my mom.
Okay.
And so I spent a lot of time just figuring it out. That 20 to 24-year-old, when they telling you your shit should be together, but we out in the club party, we try to figure out, is the stuff we seen on TV, the stuff that excites us, is this what we want? Is this who we are? And then we get to a place of 24, 25, and we like, nah, we got to get it together. And then you try to do things the right way. You might want to get in some relationships. You go through your breakups. The whole time, though, you know, you never found yourself. You know, what we're always trying to do is live up to society standards, and I think that's what takes so much time away from us. And then you look up, next thing you know, you're 33, you're 32, and you're now finding yourself. So I think that's important what you said. What about impacting the youth?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I think that's important because I think if the youth can understand, like, and then the youth, for me anyway, is like shit, 17, 18, you know what I mean? For a 17-year-old kid to watch this and hear someone like yourself who had it, like you had the penthouse, you know, and still wasn't happy. And I think the happiness is going to always come within. So, you know, with all that, you're still growing. So you started to grow Yacht,
Yeah.
right? And I know a lot of kids or youth is building brands and businesses. What's something that the young entrepreneur in you, if you had to go back and tell the young entrepreneur some important advice, what would you tell them? As far as, like, for me, I know I would tell my young self, everything don't go as planned, but it goes the way it needs to go. You know, so what would you say to your young self?
I would tell my young self to study other established brands that may mirror what it is you're trying to build. To study.
Yep.
To study them, and don't be afraid to mirror something that inspires you, because, you know, all the while being true to yourself, what happens is you see something, because we're all inspired, whether you want to feel like, oh, I'm doing this on my own, or I don't want to jack nobody else's style.
Yeah.
somewhere in the back of your subconscious mind, whatever you coming up with, it came from some sort of inspiration or inspirations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't be afraid to step into that space of mirroring the person that you admire, because you're still gonna shine through. You know, your work and your design is still gonna shine
only one
through.
you.
Yeah, it's only one you, and it's okay to replicate something, and while you're practicing. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like all the greats do it.
Yep,
You know,
absolutely.
whether Michael Jordans, the Kobe's, whatever. Yourself will still shine through.
Yep.
And so I would tell my younger self that advice. You know, don't be afraid to mirror, somebody who you admire. Because I always been just very stubborn. You know, just having that ego, just being from New York, like, oh nah, I ain't doing what they doing. I ain't doing what he doing.
Yeah, New York dudes are definitely stubborn people, bro.
And I feel like that mentality is more hurtful than anything.
Well, look, man, I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited to continue to be your friend. Continue to watch your journey. We always see each other around and always hang out, but still be a part of your journey and see you grow. And I'm sure everyone else want to watch you. So let them know where they can find you on Instagram or any social media handle you want them to find you at.
At the Yacht Doc, YACHT, because for some reason we don't know how to spell yacht.
Yeah.
At the Yacht Doc, Instagram and everywhere else. It's that simple.
All right, there you go. Yeah. Another episode of Bigger Than Goals podcast with your boy Suge Amos. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, and comment. Is that the right way? Is that the other way around?
They get it. The energy was there.
Yeah, but he always
they get it. They get it.
He always give me. He's like, yo, you gotta say comment, like, share. But y'all know what to do. Y'all listen. Keep showing love. Keep showing support. I'm seeing the subscribers going up. I appreciate that. Let's keep it going. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep liking. Let's keep doing all the good things to keep a positive voice in our circle.